What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Big Fight Field channel. This is Joseph Conlon here with the AEW Dynamite Review. It is Wednesday, April 13th, 2022. We get to talk about tonight's Dynamite show. I think this is the most matches Dynamite has ever had. 7 matches in a span of 2 hours. We got Wesley Williams. We got Cameron Johnson, the OGs of the AEW reviews here on set tonight. What's going on, fellas? Thought it was a really good show tonight, besides that ending, which, big talking point, but we do have the title Samoa Joe against Minor Suzuki. What's going on, boys? Wes, what's up, man?
Going on, man. Yeah, we'll get into the ending, but overall, I did think this was a great episode of AEW Dynamite tonight from New Orleans. Red hot crowd once again, man. Second week in a row, we've got just a red hot crowd throughout the entire night. New Orleans, thank you very much for bringing that heat tonight. And yeah, a lot of great content, man. A lot of great wrestling on this show tonight. But we'll get into the good and the bad. But it's great to be back talking AEW once again. Big week, championship week for All Elite Wrestling, man. They are going full throttle right now, man. So many different moves being made. It's a great time to be tuning into professional wrestling. That's for sure.
Cam, what's up, my guy?
What's going on, Joseph? What's going on, Wesley? I thought tonight we had a very good night of sports entertainment tonight, man. I was thoroughly sports entertained with tonight's show. I was thoroughly sports entertained with tonight's show, man. I got to give credit to the man. I got to give credit to the man. Suzuki, Samoa Joe Minoru Suzuki was a lot of fun. Punk and Pentagon was great. Wardlow looked like, oh my God, man. This show was incredible. Minus the ending, the show was incredible.
Yeah, it was a really good show tonight, I thought. Had the perfect opener too. Once I saw that Tony Khan came out yesterday and saying that we're going to get CM Punk versus Penta on Dynamite tonight, I'm like, okay, he is shaping up this show to be pay-per-view level hype. It's kind of what it was, really, with this big week they got going on, championship week. You got the world title match on Friday night. You got Battle of the Belts on Saturday. Building up tonight is a big show. Opened up great with Penta and Punk. We'll talk about that. Closed really good with the crowd on fire for Samoa Joe and Minoru Suzuki. Also, we had that tag team match, which I personally, outside the main event, was my favorite match of the entire night. That match was Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland against Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. Man, really enjoyed that tag team match. We're going to talk about it all tonight on the channel. And that's it. Let's just get right into it, man. We got a lot to talk about tonight, so we're going to dive right into the action. CM Punk versus Penta Oscuro open up tonight's show from New Orleans. Crowd was very hot for both guys. I will say this. There was a top rope maneuver. I don't know what happened, but CM Punk came down holding his knee, and the referee told Penta to back up. I legitimately thought CM Punk was injured right there, but it was a part of the match. It was a part of the story that was told in the match with CM Punk's knee. CM Punk tricked. He tricked me, man. That was good on him. That was good selling by him. Penta. These guys went really good fighting on the apron. Penta with a package pile driver on the apron to CM Punk, which looked really nasty. Then the ending of the match occurred. Penta was going for a top rope maneuver. CM Punk caught him in midair. GTS. 1, 2, 3. Excuse me, right there. 1, 2, 3. CM Punk got the win over Penta. Ending was really nicely executed. Catching Penta in midair into that GTS. Thing of beauty. CM Punk gets the win. And I'm pretty sure whoever comes out of Friday's match, the winner, they'll be feuding with CM Punk heading into Double or Nothing. So I thought this was a really good way to open up the show, and I thought the match was really good as well. Let's start with Cam.
I thought CM Punk and Pentagon, I thought this is a very good match to open up the show. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to continue to push this agenda until it happens. I need Pentagon as TNT champion. Put the TNT title on Pentagon. I need Pentagon as TNT champion. I will continue to push that agenda until it happens because Pentagon is the man, my lord. But I thought this is a very fun match here. I like, I thought this was a very fun match here. I like I liked the spot they did with Punk and him getting injured because when he came down, when he came down, I thought it was like a bot. When he came down, when I first saw it, I thought it was a botched spot. I thought it was a botched spot, and they were just going to go on to the next thing, But as I looked at it, I was like, because like seeing Punk going down injured, that would have been a gigantic blow to AEW. But thankfully, it was just part of the storyline. I liked the finish of this match a lot too. I thought the finish was smooth as hell with Pentagon going for that springboard and Punk catching him with the GTS. I thought this is a very good match to open up the show, man. And Punk, you're looking at your next AEW champion. Punk's winning the AEW title at Double or Nothing in a couple of weeks. So I thought this was really fun.
I don't know about that, but let's go to Wes.
Yeah, this was a great opening match. I'm with you there, Joseph. I thought Punk legit got hurt. It looked like they had messed up a move, and Punk legit hurt his knee. But, man, you got to give Punk a lot of credit, man. He is probably one of the best sellers in pro wrestling, man. I mean, he knows how to sell, and it's a wonderful thing to see, man. And I thought him and Penta worked really well together. I love the whole strike battle they were having at the beginning of the match, just rapid fire strikes back and forth. That was beautiful to watch, man. I mean, these guys just kicked the hell out of each other to open things off on Dynamite. It was great to see. And Punk, I'm pretty sure we all knew he was going to get the win here. Penta was number 4 ranked, Punk number 5 ranked in the top 5 rankings. So there's a battle for, to move up in the rankings, and Punk got the win here. And yes, it looks like once we find out the winner this Friday night on Rampage, after the Texas Death Match is over between Page and Cole, that'll decide who CM Punk will face for the AEW World Championship at Double or Nothing. And, it's going to be interesting to see. I feel like it's going to be a toss-up. No matter what, when it comes to the Double or Nothing match with Punk, I could see Punk possibly winning the title, but I can also see now. Personally, I'm going with Page winning the world title, retaining it on Friday. That's what I'm personally going with. So if we're getting Page and Punk, I could see Page retaining it, Double or Nothing. I can also see Punk possibly winning it, and then we get Punk and MJF once again for the AEW, but this time for the AEW world title. Man, there's a lot of different scenarios you can go with in this whole debacle right now, but it's really entertaining. I feel like no matter what, we're gonna give it something that's going to be a lot of fun to watch and really something to seek our teeth into. So,
yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think Page is losing on Friday. He's beating Adam Cole. It's just not, and right now is not Adam Cole's time. It'll come, but it's not Friday. But I don't know, man. We'll talk about this in the coming weeks leading up to. We got 6 weeks, I think, until Memorial Day weekend. So I don't know. I just don't think. I still think it's too early for Hangman Page to drop the title. I might be the only one in that conversation, but I still think it's too early for him to drop it. I don't know, but it's very unpredictable, and we'll see. But as far as Friday goes, Hangman's probably going to beat Adam Cole. We'll talk about that toward when we get to Rampage with that match card. But we had Adam Cole's boys, Red Dragon, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish challenging Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus for the AEW Tag Team Championships. This was a great match. Really, really good match. Wasn't my favorite tag team match of the night, which we'll get to later, but I still really enjoyed this match. Red Dragon, there was a spot where Kyle O'Reilly had Luchasaurus in the triangle chokehold, and Bobby Fish and Jungle Boy were on the top rope, and Bobby Fish did a Falcon Arrow to Jungle Boy. Now I know Jungle Boy's he's light, But for Bobby Fish to do that, jump over Luchasaurus and Kyle O'Reilly while they're in a triangle chokehold into a Falcon Arrow, and then Luchasaurus threw Kyle O'Reilly onto Bobby Fish. I thought that was probably the spot of the match. I was very, very impressed by that. And then Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, they take care of Kyle O'Reilly, and they hit Jurassic Express on Bobby Fish, and they get the win. They retain the tag team titles, and then after the match, Red Dragon's frustrated. Kyle O'Reilly takes a steel chair, and he hits Jungle Boy with a steel chair. And then they get confronted upstage by everybody's new favorite tag team, FTR, and they get in their faces. They exchange a couple words, and if we're getting a Red Dragon against FTR tag team match in the future, sign me up, man. Just sign me up for that right now. But for this tag team title match, really good stuff, and Jurassic Express retained as I expected. So I enjoyed it. Let's hear from Wes first.
Yeah, this was a very solid tag team title match here. Both teams meshed really well together. And I'm with you, Joseph. Spot of the match had to have been that Falcon Arrow from Bobby Fish on the Jungle Boy over Luchasaurus and Kyle O'Reilly when O'Reilly had Luchasaurus in the guillotine chokehold. Beautiful stuff, man. I mean, all four guys are such professionals, and they're so good at their craft, man. And again, this New Orleans crowd, got to give them credit, man. They were red hot throughout this entire night, really, and then they were just so hot for this match, too. It was great to see. I'm honestly a little surprised Red Dragon lost. I kind of thought for a second they were going to win tag titles tonight. And we would go on to maybe get Red Dragon Bucks, possibly a double or nothing. But I do believe we'll still get that at some point. But it looks like that's on the cards for right now. But I'm very much interested in a potential FTR Red Dragon feud. If that's where we're heading, maybe Red Dragon is next up challenge for the Ring of Honor and AAA tag titles. Who knows? But I mean, sign me up for an FTR Red Dragon match, please. I mean, my goodness, man. And the pop that FTR got, man, from the New Orleans crowd too. I mean, FTR is so over, man. Like, they are just so over, and it's unfreaking believable, man. I mean, it's like you said, Joseph. I mean, they're everybody's favorite tag team at this point. Man, FTR are those guys are the top guys. There's a reason they call themselves top guys, because that's what they are, man. And so we got a lot of different things going on here with the tag team division. But you know, AEW, how deep that tag team division is now, man. I mean, we got so many potential matchups and feuds we're going to be getting in the near future, and it's going to be wonderful to watch. But yeah, this was a very solid match tonight between all four guys. So,
Cam?
I'm with you, Wes. I am shocked. I am shocked that Red Dragon did not win the tag team titles tonight. I thought for sure they're gonna win the tag titles tonight. If not for if not just so it can kind of plant doubts into people's mind going into Friday. Going into Friday. Oh, look, Red Dragon won the tag team titles on Wednesday. Does that mean Adam Cole's going to win the championship on Friday and we're going to get undisputed holding all the gold? So I'm shocked Red Dragon did not win the tag team titles here, but I love this match. I thought this is a great. Well, I love this match. I thought this was a great tag team match here between these guys. FTR and Red Dragon, sign me up. That could be a lot of fun in terms of who. In terms of what's next for Jurassic Express and who they drop the tag team titles to, like I'm thinking they drop them to FTR. This tag team division is wide open, and I love that I love that it's realistic that any tag team, any of the top ranked tag teams can go in and beat Jurassic Express for the tag team titles. I'm absolutely loving this, man. This tag team match was great. This tag division is great. Just great stuff. Great stuff.
Yeah, that's what I like about divisions like this is you have no idea who could take the titles off Jurassic Express. I mean, there's FTR, there's Santana and Ortiz, there's John Moxley and Bryan Danielson. Those are probably the top three options, but you just like it that it's not predictable. We really do not know, who could be taking the tag team titles off of Jurassic Express. I probably think they're going to take them off. they're going to take the titles off of them at Double or Nothing. I do probably think that, but I don't know, man. I would not be against after last week. I would not be against FTR. I would not be against Moxley and Danielson, and I don't think it's going to be Santana and Ortiz. But if it is them, I wouldn't mind being at them either. It's just a really open field, and that's what I like. That's what I love about this. So, I think that's all we covered for that match, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, help me out. What do we have after this? Was it MJF?
Yeah, MJF and Captain Shawn Dean.
Yep.
So, we had MJF coming out against Shawn Dean, and the early stages of the match. MJF couldn't take his jacket off. He had something stuck in his jacket. He had something between his zipper. Like, you know how you have one side of the zipper that's attached and the other's not. He had that he might have had that problem. But this was just all a prank to Shawn Dean. And Shawn Dean fell for it, and MJF attacked him, took off the jacket with ease, and started the match. They were fine. The match didn't go that long until MJF looked up at the Titantron and saw security guards laid down. And I'm gonna get to it at the end. Don't worry. But I'm gonna get to it. But we see security guards laid down, defenseless. Oh man! And we see MJF throw Shawn Dean. He's posing. And I'm like, oh, Wardlow. We see a security guard just standing there, and I was like, oh, that's got to be Wardlow. And sure enough, that was Wardlow in the security shirt. He comes out, and he chases MJF. He's about to attack MJF. Shawn Spears then proceeds to hit him with a chair. Wardlow no-sold it, stared right into Shawn Spears' eyes, and was going to powerbomb him until security came down, and they just kept getting knocked down by Wardlow one by one by one. So many security guards got beaten up until about 15 security guards came out to hold Wardlow, and this was great. So the referee at this point, while Wardlow is being held, the referee is counting because MJF's standing outside the ring. He's debating whether to get in the ring. He grabs a microphone and he tells Bryce Remsburg, "Don't count to 10. I don't know what Tony Khan's paying you, but whatever he's paying you, I will pay triple. I'll give you triple." Bryce Remsburg thinks about it. And he just throws up 10 and counts out MJF. MJF was in tears. He loses to Shawn Dean. And he then proceeds to push Bryce Remsburg around. And the camera is on Wardlow. And he's destroying these security guards backstage. He gets on the camera and he says, "I will not stop. This will happen every week until you release me of my contract." This was excellent. Really fun. I'm really liking everything about this feud between MJF and Wardlow. But I do have to say, I've never seen worse security guards in my life. I mean,
They really do have some terrible security guards. My God.
Who hired these security guards?
Seriously. I don't know, but they're not doing a good job.
I don't know, man. But, man, jokes aside, I mean, this was awesome. MJF took the count-out loss. He's fine. He's still MJF. And they're building up Wardlow very, very nicely. But I'm going to skip to what happened later on in the night that we can talk about in this one segment. You had MJF backstage with Sean Spears and Mark Sterling. And MJF's like, you know what? This is not going to continue every week. I'm going to put you to work. I'm going to put you to work next week. And Mark Sterling's gives him a paycheck. Jose walks in, and he gives the paycheck to Jose. And I'm like, are we getting Andrade against Wardlow next week? And then MJF's like, your opponent next week will be in form of a butcher. And then the butcher comes in. So we're getting the butcher against Wardlow next week on Dynamite in Pittsburgh. So this was the match next week. Two big guys going at it, man. Let's get Wes's thoughts first. Match.
Yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite storylines in all of wrestling right now, man. They are doing this storyline so perfectly. I would not change a single thing about it, man. Ever since it first got going, man, they have just really ran it through, and it's just been absolute just pure gold all the way through, man. They have not slipped up at all in this storyline, and I mean, right now they are just on a red-hot trajectory right now all the way to the top until we do get that eventual match between Wardlow and MJF. I mean, this is just wonderful, man. I mean, and like Wardlow screaming in the camera too as he's being pulled away. I mean, my gosh, man, like the pure, like I'm seeing like pure anger off this dude's face. Like he is just ready to kill anybody right now, man. It's unfreaking believable. And MJF, of course, is MJF. Everything he's involved in, it just turns to gold, man. This is just awesome all the way through. And we got Wardlow and Butcher next week. I'm sure some sort of shenanigans will be trying to be at play here by MJF. But and good for Sean Dean too, man. Look at Sean Dean picking up these wins. Man, he has a reason to be braggadocious right now, man, because he can go around and be like, I beat MJF not once but twice now, and I beat your boy Sean Spears. So it's like, man, I mean, Sean Dean continues to get all the one-ups over the Pinnacle, man. It's great to see. So good for him too. But yeah, I mean, all of this is just working, man. This is how you work a pro wrestling storyline, man. I mean, and it just seems like just about everything MJF really is involved in, man. It's just it's nothing short of greatness. I mean, I feel like MJF really hasn't had like a horrible, like just completely putrid feud there ever since he started in AEW. It's like everything this dude's involved in, it's unbelievable. And Wardlow himself, I mean, the way he's gotten himself over as just this monster baby face, it's just great to see. The crowd obviously adores Wardlow in every single way. So, I mean, everything's working, man, and I love it, and I can't wait to see the progression more and more of this up until we get to Double or Nothing. So,
Cam.
This is my favorite segment of the night. I thought this was a lot of fun. I thought this was a lot. I thought this was a lot of fun. When Wardlow showed up in the crowd, I loved it. When Wardlow was about to murder Sean Spears, I was so happy. I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh Lord, Wardlow's about to die. And then the security guards came in and ruined everything. Made me very sad. Made me very sad. But so, I'm very much looking forward to this here. I think this is what, this is what I imagine this is what I imagine Mustafa Ali does. He just goes to WWE headquarters and starts ripping up shit. It's like, release me from my contract, Mr. McMahon. But that's what he needs to do, quite frankly. But I thought this was a lot of fun here. Wardlow and the Butcher sounds great. Sign me up. But I will say this. AEW got them referees, bro. Don't mess with the AEW referees. They got them referees. Bryce Remsburg was about to scrap. Oh my God. Then you got Aubrey Edwards there too. Oh my God. But don't mess with the AEW referees, bro. They can scrap. But I thought this was a lot of fun. I love this.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, I mean, you can mess with the security guards, but you can't mess with the referees. So
They had to put the referees in security. They had to put the referees in security, bro. When Wardlow showed up to the building, got Bryce Remsburg there. That's scrap. I think Wardlow would make it in.
Sure. So, yeah, that was really good stuff. I enjoyed it. And next week we are getting the Butcher against Wardlow. Should be good stuff, man. Should be good stuff. We had the 6-man with Eddie Kingston and Santana and Ortiz going up against the Jericho Appreciation Society, Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, and Daniel Garcia. Now, before the match, they showed a segment from earlier today with Jericho getting off a jet with Hager and Daniel Garcia, who then passed by Eddie Kingston in a car with Santana and Ortiz, and they dragged out 2.0. They had attacked 2.0 earlier in the day, and they were left there laying down. And I talk about this because they come out during the match, and they call Jeff Parker Angelo Parker now, right?
Yeah.
Tony Schiavone called Angelo Parker Shoeless Angelo. And I freaking laughed I've laughed really hard. I don't know why, but just that name, Shoeless Angelo. I don't know. But that's what happened earlier today. We had the 6-man tag. Eddie Kingston, man, he is as over could be. I mean, it is amazing how loved that Eddie Kingston is in AEW. But this was a very fun 6-man tag. Pretty generic, but it was fun nonetheless. Jericho and the Appreciation Society cheat to win with the baseball bat. Daniel Garcia rolls up Eddie Kingston to get the win. And after the match, they lay out Santana and Ortiz and Eddie Kingston. And I just feel like it's evident at this point that we're getting Homicide and Hernandez to come back up Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz and make this a 5-on-5 match at Double or Nothing, whether it be Stadium Stampede or whatever. Now, last week, people were talking about maybe this would be the Blood and Guts feud. I actually read a rumor. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I actually read a rumor. I don't remember who it was from, but apparently Blood and Guts that match is going to happen during the summer. I don't know when, but I heard AEW might be doing that match in the summer. So if we get this feud could drag all the way to the summer, I could see it happening. I'm not sure, but it's just a rumor. So please don't at me about it. I'm just telling you all what I saw. But for thoughts on the match, let's start with Cam.
I thought this was a fun match here, but I have a question. When they showed the segment, of Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz, and they showed Angelo Parker and the other 2.0 brother, whatever the fuck his name is, laying down. My question is, did 2.0 make it on the plane, or did they get jumped before they got on the plane? And if that's the case, how did Jericho, Hager, and Daniel Garcia not realize 2.0 was not on the plane? That's why I need this question answered, because I really want to know the answer to this question. But I thought this was a fun, I thought this was a fun 6-man tag here. Eddie Kingston scared me when he came out. I'm not gonna lie. Eddie Kingston came up with that shirt. I was like, Eddie Kingston came up with that shirt. I was like, I was like, But it said thump, so it was okay. It said thump, so it was okay. But I thought this was a really fun match here. Jericho, it was hard for me to see the object Jericho used to hit Eddie Kingston in the back of the head. Jericho used it to hit Eddie Kingston. Joseph said it was the baseball bat. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was the turnbuckle. I thought it was Layla Hirsch's turnbuckle he used to hit Eddie Kingston in the back with. I was like, Jericho's stealing Layla Hirsch's gimmick with the turnbuckle there. But Joseph said it was the baseball bat, so I'm gonna go with the baseball bat. I thought this is really fun. I thought this was a really fun 6-man tag. I'm loving this feud in this program with Jericho and with with JAS against Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz. I'm loving this feud.
Wes.
Yeah, this is a good trios match here. Good stuff from both sides. That was a good question, Cam. Yeah, I now that you brought it up, I'm thinking about that too. I was like, yeah, that don't make any sense, does it? But you know what? Whatever. We can brush it over. We can brush it over. But yeah, man, good stuff from both sides here. I could see a blood and guts match happening if the rumor is going on that they could possibly happen in the summer. If there is going to be a blood and guts match, I definitely see it happen between these two factions. And yeah, signs point more and more to Hernandez and Homicide showing up to back up Kingston, Santana, Ortiz, which I'm super excited for. That is going to be freaking tremendous, man. So yeah, whatever we get come Double or Nothing, whether it be Stadium Stampede or Blood and Guts, I think we're all going to be sports entertained by the end of it all. So there you go.
Sports entertained. I love how. By the way, just before we move on, I love how we're in a universe where Chris Jericho and the Jericho Appreciation Society is in AEW, and they are doing a WWE gimmick, and Cody Rhodes is in WWE doing an AEW gimmick. It's just, man, it's only April and wrestling's been wild, man. So.
That's unbelievable.
I saw that tweet I was scrolling through Twitter. I saw that tweet and I'm like, this is absolutely correct. And it's correct. Like it's not wrong or anything. But anyway, we had Sky Blue against Marina Shafir. Fortunately, this match was a squash. I know you said this, as one of y'all said this in the group chat on Instagram. Why was Red Velvet sitting in the Jade Cargill section? Like
she's a baddie. That's why she was sitting there.
But
the baddie section.
This is supposed to be like Jade Cargill's like best friends or whatever, like her hired entourage, whatever the case may be. Like Red Velvet, do they want us to forget? Are they doing the WWE thing where they want us to forget something that happened like not that long ago, where Red Velvet and Jade Cargill had like a whole little feud happening? Remember the mixed tag with Shaq and Cody? I mean, what were we like? You want us to just forget about that? And then also, I mean, Kiera Hogan doesn't make much sense either, because like Hogan's, I think she like had a match with Jade Cargill, and like I think she's a face. I don't know, but like
why is Kiera Hogan never on television? I'm sorry to cut you off, Wes, but why is she not on television?
Yeah, that's a good. I don't get it, man. Yeah, so. I mean, the match itself was whatever, I mean, Marina Shafir is pretty much a relative nobody to the fans out there. I mean, no one really knows. I mean, of course we know because she was in NXT with Shayna and all that. But like, I mean, people aren't going to see Marina Shafir and be like, oh, wow, they're going to like pop for it, like, so it's, I mean, it did its job. Marina Shafir looks like, badass before her match against Jade Cargill, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I'm not real excited for the match, to be honest. I don't think anybody's really very much looking forward to it. I was honestly thinking they were going to make the match for Saturday for the TBS.
Yeah, me too.
But honestly, I'm happy it's going to be Gresham versus Dalton Castle instead, man. It's like I'd much rather take that than Shafir versus Jade Cargill, in my honest opinion. So there you go.
Yeah, she came out to her theme music, and as her theme music hit, I'm like, who is this? It was moving. She came out to dead silence.
Yeah.
No one gave a shit about her match. They cheered for Sky Blue for like 20 seconds, and then back to dead silence.
Blue was more over than Marina Shafir was. People wanted Sky Blue to win, and like we obviously knew who was going to win this, but like, yeah, Sky Blue was more over. So there you go.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This was just bad. It was pretty bad. And again, I'm glad I wasn't the only one who realized that, because I'm sitting there and they're showing the Jade Friends section, I guess. What's it called? The baddie section?
The baddie section.
And Red Velvet's sitting there. I'm like, why is Red Velvet sitting with Jade Cargill's friends?
I guess they met up backstage and they're just like, you know what? Hey, you know what? I'm gonna recruit you for the baddie section. There you go. Let's be friends now. The pro wrestling, folks. There you go.
But yeah, anyway, I'm with Wes. I'm not necessarily excited about this match, so we'll see what happens. We'll see. But Jay Cargill's probably gonna win when they face each other, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You don't think they're saving this shit for Double or Nothing, right?
They better not. That sounds bad. Not expecting Marina Shapir. I think she has a lot of potential. That sounds god awful if they put it on
No.
Double.
They gotta have something better for Jade on pay-per-view.
Yeah. Well, we go from that to something I've really enjoyed, which was a tag team match between Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks, who was one of the most over guys the entire night in Louisiana. They didn't show his friends and family, but he looked really. He was one of the most over guys the entire night. They went up against Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee. This match was crazy. This match was fast paced, and this was probably outside of the main event. This was probably my second favorite match of the entire night. Um, awesome, awesome tag team match. Some of the key highlights of the match: Swerve Strickland did a backflip off Keith Lee's chest to the outside. I mean, that was crazy. Um, Swerve inside the ring did a roll, when he does this roll into a face plant, he got hit by a spear by Ricky Starks. It was a close near fall. Um, he then and then Ricky was on the outside. No, he jumped off the top rope and speared Keith Lee, and Swerve came in to break that up. Keith Lee had Ricky on his shoulders for Big Bang Catastrophe. I actually thought that's how I thought the match was gonna end. I actually thought that Keith Lee and Swerve were going to win this match. Right when Taz came out, I'm like, Taz is out. Okay, I think he's accidentally going to cost his guys the match. That's what I thought was originally going to happen. But Keith Lee going for another shoulder pounce. Taz holds Keith Lee's ankle. Referee is worried about Ricky Starks. Hobbs hits a spine buster, a clean spine buster on Keith Lee. 1, 2, 3. Powerhouse Hobbs is the first guy to pin Keith Lee in AEW. I got absolutely no problem with this. I know it's kind of 50-50 booking. Keith Lee got the first win. Hobbs gets this win in a tag team match, but hey, he pinned Keith Lee, so basically it's 1-1. This is going to set up a third match between Keith Lee and Powerhouse Hobbs, maybe in the Owen Hart Cup tournament, which would be very nice to see. But overall, man, this was such a great tag team match. The crowd was really into this. The crowd was into all four guys in this match, and all four guys were on their A game. I was really looking forward to this match going into it, and it delivered. It delivered big time tonight. And see what happens, man. I think the feud. Y'all think the feud's going to continue?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's start with Wes.
Yeah. This I'm with each other. I think outside of the main event, this might have been my favorite match of the night. These four guys, I mean, absolutely killed it. I mean, I knew this was going to be a good match. I didn't think it was going to get this great. You know, they went out and just delivered a straight fire, just tag team match, man. A lot of great highlights in this match. All four guys are over, like you said, Joe. I mean, especially Ricky Starks, and knowing that this is his hometown of New Orleans. And I love that they gave more backstory on Ricky Stark's journey, growing up in New Orleans, and him and his family being affected by Hurricane Katrina. It's just great. It's great learning about background details like that, and it kind of lets you gain more sympathy for Ricky Starks. Even though Ricky Starks is a heel, you still gain the sympathy for the guy. And you could see, I could see the camera when it was on Starks before the match, it just real tears in his eyes because he couldn't believe that he was performing in front of this red hot hometown crowd, and I mean, good for Ricky Starks, man. That's just awesome. But all four guys came in and killed it tonight, man. This is great stuff. I kind of did think Swerve and Lee were going to win as well, but it's all right, though. I mean,
I'm glad they didn't now.
Yeah. Starks and Hobbs, that I'm happy that they got the win here. And I could definitely see Hobbs and Lee having another match, possibly in the Owen Cup. That would be really cool. They're really shaping up the Owen Cup for both the men and the women. They're shaping it up to look very nice right now. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I do think the feud is probably going to continue. I'm not sure what they do next, but I've been really liking what these four guys have been producing, whether it's singles competition, tag team competition, put on stuff.
Yeah, you were breaking up a little bit toward the end, so can you say that again? Nah, you're a little choppy, but let's go to Cam.
I thought this tag match was. I thought this was a really fun tag team match here. With these guys here, I thought all four guys killed it. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know why I thought this. I don't know why I thought this. I think this is just the WWE. I think there's just the. I think this is just the WWE mirroring. When Taz came out, I thought for sure. I thought for sure we were gonna get a swerve where we saw Swerve turn on Keith Lee and join with Team Taz. I thought for sure when Taz came out, I thought that was going to happen. But then, as I thought about it, I was like, well, that wouldn't really make any sense since they haven't really done anything to really hint at that, to really hint at that. But again, I think that was just the WWE fan in me. Because when I saw that come in, because when I saw Taz coming down, I thought for sure Swerve was turning on Keith Lee and joining Team Taz. But I thought this was a really fun match here. Will Hobbs pinning Keith Lee. Will Hobbs pinning Keith Lee is perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. It continues the feud. It's perfectly fine. It continues the feud. And Keith Lee's gonna end up winning this feud in the end. So I don't have any issues with it. But I thought this was a lot of fun. I thought this is a fun tag team match.
Yeah, really enjoyed it. I think for this feud, like last week they were brawling in the back, Keith Lee pounds Tops through a wall. If they wanted to take this route, if they wanted to take this feud to a lights out match or false count anywhere match, I think that could be some really good stuff if they wanted to do a lights out or false count anywhere match with these guys. So I do think we'll get one more match. I also think we'll get another Keith Lee Powerhouse Hobbs match. I'm hoping they save that for the Owen Hart Cup tournament. That would be great. And yeah, that's it about that match. Really, again, my second favorite match of the night was probably that match right there. We got some big shows coming up for AEW. As before we get to that, actually, I want to talk about this backstage segment with Lexi Nair for a third week in a row interviewing Hook. And this week, she didn't have to ask Hook multiple questions with having his AirPods in because he was interrupted by Mark Sterling and Tony Nese. Mark Sterling was all over the place tonight. I'll just say that right now. He's with MJF. He's with Jade Cargill. He's with Tony Nese in this segment. He said, and he was still talking about why is he calling Tony Nese the hottest free agent? Isn't he signed with AEW?
Well, that's what they were calling him, I think, like before he officially signed with AEW. So, like, I guess they were still kind of carrying on with that. Like, this guy was the hottest free agent, and like now, he's under my lawyership. So I guess that's what they were trying to play off there.
No disrespect to Tony Nese, but that must have been a really bad free agency class if he's the hottest free agent in it. No disrespect to the boy, but that must have been a really bad free agency class.
Yeah. But, yeah, basically what they did in that interview was set up Hook's first Dynamite match next week against Tony Nese. I'm looking Hook with a live performance, man. It's going to be awesome. So... But then after that, Danhausen said something in the background. Hook had a medicine ball. He threw it backwards to Danhausen, and it knocked Danhausen over. So I thought that was funny. So it was fine. But regardless, we got some big shows coming up for AEW. Friday night, Rampage. We got Hangman Page against Adam Cole in a Texas death match for the AEW World Championship. Honestly, wouldn't be shocked if they open up the show with that. Usually with AEW, they open with is it a common trend that they open up Rampage with the best match on the card with the match?
I think it has been a recurring trend. Yeah.
Yeah, so I could see that opening Friday. We also have qualifier for the women's Owen Hart Cup. We got Ruby Soho against Robin Renegade on Friday, and then we got a 6-man tag with the Gun Club going up against the Blackpool Combat Club, John Moxley, Bryan Danielson, and officially Wheeler Yuta. And he looks really nice with them too. He fits with that group perfectly. So
He does fit with them perfectly. I gotta go. I got a minor complaint before we go on. No disrespect to Ruby Soho and Charlotte Renegade, whatever her name is. I was really hoping Rampage was just a 2-match show this week. I was hoping it was a 1-match show, but they added the second, but they added BCC against the Gun Club. By the way, rest in peace to the Gun Club. They will be missed. They will be missed. But I was really hoping that Rampage this week would have been a 2-match show. I want that Texas Death Match to go 25, 30 minutes. That's what I want that match to go. But probably not happening now.
yeah, I still think it'll go at least 20 minutes. I mean, I think they'll open up the show with it and give it at least 20 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes. I mean, that 6-man tag doesn't have to be long. So, Saturday night, Battle of the Belts. Just a quick warning. I don't think there's going to be a Battle of the Belts review on Saturday night. Night before Easter. I'm going to be away this weekend. And I don't know. I just don't. It's probably not going to be a review on Saturday, which it's all good. We got Thunder Rosa against Nyla Rose for the women's title. Scorpio Sky against Sammy Guevara for the TNT Championship. I hope Scorpio Sky wins and we're done with this feud. Please. That's the one thing I'm asking for on this match Saturday night. Just have Scorpio Sky beat Sammy Guevara and we're just done with this mess. And then we got Jonathan Gresham defending the ROH World title against Dalton Castle. So that's on Saturday. Next Wednesday, we got Wardlow 1-on-1 against the Butcher. Hook making his Dynamite debut against Tony Nese. Owen Hart Cup qualifiers. Got Jungle Boy against Kyle O'Reilly. That should be a really technical, good wrestling match. We got Danielle Camilla against Britt Baker in Pennsylvania. Match is already over. Britt Baker won. It's in her hometown. So, and then Coffin match 2 between Andrade and Darby Allin. So next Wednesday should be a fun one in Pittsburgh. Y'all ready to talk about this main event?
Let's do it.
Ooh, yes.
So, Samoa Joe against Minoru Suzuki for the ROH Television Championship. This was as hard-hitting as it gets. Very hard-hitting. They started out the first minute of this match slapping the shit out of each other. You could see in the first 2 minutes. The crowd was chanting, "This is awesome." You could see Samoa Joe's right side of his chest was burning red. And I mean absolutely burning red. Minoru Suzuki's chest was red. Then they slowed the pace down after that. And then they started doing it again. Samoa Joe, some vicious chops. Minoru Suzuki had some really good chops. They went back and forth at it again. Suzuki had the submission hold in on Samoa Joe. Joe got out of it. He went for the Kohina clutch. I think he did. I'm not sure. I think he did. But he got Suzuki up to the top rope, gave Suzuki a vicious knife edge chop into a muscle buster, which, by the way, I didn't see it last week, but they banned the muscle buster in WWE. I mean, I was kind of upset by that. I'm glad it's back. I missed seeing Samoa Joe hit the muscle buster. He pins Minoru Suzuki, and he's the new ROH television champion in a fantastic main event and probably my favorite match of the night. Now we got the post match to talk about, but we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that next, but we'll just talk about the match, which you guys see in the title. Let's start with Wes, man. Talk about this hard-hitting title, ROH TV title match.
Man, absolutely incredible stuff, man. I mean, I think everybody knew, if you know these two guys and you know them well, I think you knew what to expect going into this match, and they delivered what to expect and more. These two guys just literally went in and were like, "Hey, I'm gonna kill you. Hey, I'm also gonna kill you too." And they just did that, and it was beautiful. It was, I mean, I don't know if I mentioned this even in the Instagram group chat or anything, but give me 3 hours of this, please. Give me 3 hours of this match, please. I don't care. Like, I would gladly take 3 hours of this tenfold over 3 hours of Monday Night Raw any day of the week. Like, good Lord, these two guys. I mean, like, if it was literally, like, even if they didn't put on any other moves, it was just them just forearms and chops the entire time, I would have been like, this is great. This is pro wrestling. This is what I need in my life, man. These two guys did not mess around one bit. Both of their chest, I mean, you could see Suzuki's chest was bleeding too. Like, and this was at the beginning of the match. His chest was already starting to bleed. And I was like, these two guys are just going absolutely wild on each other, and it was just beautiful to watch. And I honestly thought Joe probably wasn't going to win. I thought there was going to be some shenanigans involved with Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt, but Joe actually did win the Ring of Honor TV title, so congrats to him. Very brief reign for Suzuki. He did just win the title, I think, just a couple weeks ago at Supercard. But I'm assuming it maybe has to do with the travel. Maybe he has to go back to Japan because I think Suzuki kind of does, like, you know, occasional trips to the U.S., goes back to Japan, does his thing there. So it might have had a travel thing to do with it, but you know, I think Suzuki also just wanted the whole title of, you know, he won his first ever U.S. title. And but man, it's crazy how this dude's in his 50s and, like, he really is he's just going out there and still killing people, like, left and right in the ring, man. It's unbelievable. But Joe is your new Ring of Honor TV champion. I love it, man. It really ties together more with the Ring of Honor partnership and everything. And we'll see Joe now more on a Ring of Honor TV as well, and probably the upcoming shows that they have on pay-per-view. So I love it, man. This was a great main event, and of course we'll get into the post-match in just a bit here before we, as we pass the mic on over to Cam here. But overall, excellent main event. So.
I love this match so much. Oh my god! First off, I need Minoru Suzuki on television every week killing people. I need him on television every week killing people. I know he can't do it, but man, I wish we could get him on TV every week killing people. I love Minoru Suzuki. Samoa Joe, I love Minoru Suzuki. Samoa Joe, one of the toughest. Samoa Joe, one of the toughest men to ever step foot in a professional wrestling ring. This was a great matchup between these guys, man. These chops, oh my god, these chops and punches were fucking brutal, and I loved every minute of it. It was lovely. It was very lovely. So Minoru Suzuki getting a 1 week reign with Minoru Suzuki getting like a 2 week reign with the championship. It's perfect. It's perfectly fine because Minoru Suzuki is not the long-term plan in Ring of Honor. Minoru Suzuki doesn't. Suzuki does his own thing. Suzuki does his own things. He has his own dates. So him winning him winning his first ever U.S. title was great because Minoru Suzuki is great, and I hope we see him back in AEW again because Minoru Suzuki is fantastic. So,
Yeah, really enjoyed this main event. Great match, as I expected it to be. The crowd was eating everything. The crowd was eating this shit up the entire match. Now we got to get to the post match. So bear with me. We had Sanjay Dutt and Jay Lethal we had Jay Lethal bring out this gift box, and Sanjay Dutt was like, "We're so happy for you. You're the new ROH television champion." And I was surprised for you. So we wanted to roll out the red carpet. They didn't have the red carpet. Jay Lethal gave Joe the middle finger. And then the lights went out. And I'm like, oh boy, who is coming out and attacking Samoa Joe? And Wes said this earlier. I don't know if this got on the video. I don't think he said it on the recording, but when the lights first went off, I thought it was about to be Cesaro. I thought Cesaro was going to attack Samoa Joe, but but it wouldn't make sense for him to join with Sanjay Dutt and Jay Lethal. But I just thought for some reason it was going to be Samoa Joe. It ended up being, excuse me, it ended up being Santon Singh, someone the crowd didn't know. He was about 7'4". Crowd was very confused, and all this guy did was give him a boot and squeeze his head. That's literally all this guy did. Jay Lethal hit the lethal injection, and these three men stood together. And Santon Singh, I guess, is with Sanjay Dutt and Jay Lethal. There's a clip on Twitter when Dynamite went off the air and these guys were still in the ring and the crowd was chanting, "We don't know you." That's not good, man. This was a vibe killer. I don't know. AEW. I don't think we need AEW to have their version of OMOS. I don't think we need that, man. And now we do. This is AEW's version of OMOS. And we all know how OMOS is. OMOS is tall. OMOS can't wrestle though. And I got the same vibes with this guy gives me the same vibes as OMOS. So I don't know, man. People were very disappointed. And Dynamite had a rerun for like 3 minutes, and this was the finish. So it was kind of disappointing that this was the finish, but I don't know. I'm gonna hand it over to you guys. I'm gonna hand it to Cameron first.
Okay. I understand why they want this guy on television. I do. For one, he's a big guy. For one, the dude is gigantic. Okay, one, the dude is gigantic. Two, he's Indian. And AEW trying to break into that Indian market, if they can break into that Indian market, it is absolutely huge. It's the reason why Jinder Mahal. It's absolutely huge. It's the reason why Great Khali was World Heavyweight Champion back in 2007. It's the reason why Jinder Mahal was WWE Champion in 2017. They want to break into that, and AEW want to break into that Indian market. I understand that. Oh, I understand that. Okay, that's why he's on television. I do not need to see this guy wrestling because guys that are this tall cannot wrestle. It's not me being mean. You look back in history, guys that are this gigantic, just very tall. Just guys that are just very tall. Sid was one. Sid was one. Great personality, could not wrestle worth the shit. Giant Gonzalez. He looked like an absolute monster. He looked huge. Yeah. Could not wrestle. Khali looks like a monster. I'm pretty sure Khali is a lovely guy. Very nice guy. He cannot wrestle worth he cannot wrestle worth the shit. So I understand why they're doing this. As long as I don't have to see him wrestle on television. As long as we don't see him, I don't need to see this shit on Dark either. Don't put him in there on Dark Elevation either. I don't need to see that shit either. As long as he's not wrestling, Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt have the heat. I understand why they're doing it. They're trying to break into the Indian market, but this ending just fell flat. This ending fell completely flat. I did not like this at all.
Yeah. Um, you hit the nail on the market. Even the Big Show. I mean, Big Show could move, but he's not a great wrestler. But yeah, you pretty much hit the nail on the head. So let's go to Wes.
Yeah, this was rough. I mean, to put it straightforward, it was rough. This didn't need to happen. It didn't. I mean, and like you said, Cam, I understand too that they want to break into the Indian market. It makes sense. I mean, you got one of the biggest populations in the world over in India. You got over 1 billion people living in India. So I get why you would want to break into the market if you're a professional wrestling promotion. I get it. But man, it's like you said. I mean, guys this big can't wrestle. They can't. History has shown that, and we don't. I mean, I get the attraction and everything. That's part of the entertainment and all, but it's like we need wrestlers who can actually wrestle in there. We don't need people going in there trying to do it and they just fall flat on their face. I mean, Great Khali, we remember watching him on WWE. He could not wrestle at all. The
He
dude
could
was
barely move.
he could
Could barely move.
now granted, this guy, from what I hear, he was a former basketball player. So it's like, okay, he could probably move a little bit at least, because if he played basketball, he probably can move a little bit. Doesn't mean that doesn't mean he's going to be good at wrestling. It doesn't mean like I need to see him in the ring. I really don't. I mean, especially if he's over 7 feet tall. I mean, again, it's like, guy, when you're that big, it's hard for you to even move around in general, like in life as a whole. Like, I can't imagine even being that big and living life. Because I mean, I'm sure it probably gets really difficult too to live that big. I mean, it's probably pretty wild. But I mean, we'll see what happens with this. I'm with you, Cam. I mean, as long as we don't really have to see the guy wrestle, fine, okay. I'm not going to complain too much then. But if we're going to start seeing matches left and right with this guy, count me out. I'm not going to be a fan of it at all. I mean, this just felt like a WWE ending if I ever saw one. This felt very WWE like with the booking and the way it ended. I would have much rather Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt just ambush Samoa Joe just 2-on-1 in the ring, and that's how it ended. That would have been fine. I would have been okay with that because that's fine. A 2-on-1 ambush on Joe with the numbers advantage makes sense. And I for sure definitely didn't need the lights going out and the lights coming back. I mean, it's just this.
Oh
dude.
my
That
God.
is
That's
the most
well,
overused
AEW,
thing in AEW.
I love AEW. Of course we love AEW.
yes.
I am like getting really sick and tired of the lights going out and the lights coming up stuff. I'm
For
just
guys like this.
for guys like this especially. Like, if they overdo it. Like, if you're gonna do it when it's really special, and also don't do it often, because I feel like AEW does it like quite a bit, And so if you're gonna do it, make it special. They do a lot of other stuff that's special. They hold off on stuff that's special, like when it comes to like match types and stuff like that, or like maybe like decisions on like how a match ends, like with the count out DQ finishes. They don't overdo it with those like WWE does, So I appreciate that. But yeah, we really don't need these like not for a dude like this who nobody knows, like not even like the most hardcore wrestling fan would know, because this guy's not even a wrestler to begin with. He's like he's like coming into the business to training to be a wrestler, but he was a basketball player before this. So it's like, I mean, and now like when this dude did come out, they said his name. I do remember, like somehow I remember that they did like many months ago, probably over a year or two ago, they did say like this dude is all elite, and it was this guy, and I was like, okay, and I just brushed over it, and I was like, okay, whatever. And now he's made it onto screen and on AEW television, so we'll see what happens. But right now, this I'm not a fan, and this was not a good way to end what was overall an awesome episode of Dynamite tonight. Overall, a lot of stuff was done right tonight, but the ending just fell flat. But I still enjoyed myself tonight. But yeah, they should have ended the show way better than this. So
Yeah. The crowd was hot the entire night as well. And like I said, this was a vibe killer. And now, you know, this guy is AEW's version of the Great Khali or the AEW's version of OMOS. And we've had histories where guys over 7 foot tall can't move in a wrestling ring and can't wrestle. If he's a bodyguard for Jay Lethal, you know what? Like Cameron said, if he's a bodyguard for Jay Lethal, fine. But if this guy's in a wrestling ring, this guy's having matches on AEW Dynamite, on Rampage, no. No.
Unless they use him unless they use him in like a tag team situation where like they do like a 6-man tag on Dynamite and it's Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, and this guy. And this guy comes in, he does some power stuff every now and then, he does some power stuff every now and then, he throws the guy around, he's there. But he just stays on the apron 95% of the time. To me, that's perfectly fine. That is the only thing I need to see him doing in a wrestling ring. I don't need to see him on Dynamite, Rampage. Don't put him on Dark. I don't even watch Dark or Dark Elevation. Don't put him on Dark. Don't put him on Dark Elevation. Don't put him on whatever other show Tony Khan has to come up with. Leave him the fuck out the ring, and we're good.
Facts. So, I mean, hopefully this turns out to be okay. I don't know. It was just, it sucks, but I don't know. Was that one of the worst endings that there's debate that it was one of the worst endings that Dynamite in the history of Dynamite. Y'all think that's true? Because I kind of think it is.
I think so. Yeah.
That's a shame, but besides that, man, and the women's match, it's a really good show tonight. Don't think it was a bad show just because of that ending. So, the show was really good. There's a lot of great stuff on that show. We had a lot of great storylines leading into the weeks ahead. So, keep your heads up, man. But thank you all for watching tonight. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Field channel. If you have not already, we got some AEW content. I was going to do some basketball content for the NBA. Kind of wanted to wait till the plane was over because to me the plane's not really meaning that much. So I might do a video. I don't know if I have time. I doubt I'll have time this weekend, but we'll be here for Rampage. Maybe on Monday I'll do a basketball video, but we got Rampage on Friday. Then we're going to take the rest of the weekend off. It's Easter weekend, all that stuff. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. Comment down below your thoughts on tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite live from New Orleans. Hit the like button if you like what you heard from myself, Wesley Williams, Cameron Johnson. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Colin_Joseph. Cam, plug your socials, man.
Follow me on the Twitter sticks at Cam71101. Yeah, Cam71101. If you want to talk AEW, wrestling, or the NBA in general. By the way, I'm playing this new game called Portal. I am the man at it right now. I am the man at it right now. Gamers Goons, if you are listening to this, you got lucky. Okay, Gamers Goons got lucky today, beating me in one. He got lucky. He ain't doing that shit no more. But if that interests you, make sure you follow me on there for that. Play the game with me, man. It's a lot of fun. And also, check out the CNA podcast, available on all platforms, man. Available on all platforms. We just had Kid Bandit on recently, Donnie Ray. I'm going to the DPW show this Saturday, and I'm hoping I can get a quick interview with Bojack, the DPW champion. So if that interests you, make sure you check that out there. A lot of great stuff there.
Wes, take us home.
You already know. Follow me over on Instagram at The Real Wesley Snipes. You can also follow me over on TikTok with the same username. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in to another AEW Dynamite tonight. I hope you will join us again for the next video. Make sure you follow us, all of us on our socials, and make sure you stay tuned for the next video. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Joseph, send us on home.
Guys, see you Friday night for an early AEW Rampage. Again, 7 o'clock Eastern start time. So, with that being said, the review should be up around 9 o'clock, which is beautiful. So, hope you all have a good night. Hope you all enjoyed Dynamite. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Have a good one. Stay safe. And as always, stay classy. We out. Peace.